Hello techies, welcome back to Elfin Code channel. So today we will see the exactly same practical which we did in the last video, but here we will be making use of class decorator to find the number of times each function is being called in your module. So we'll be writing a class decorator instead of function decorator here. So this will make our work even more simple. So let us jump into the practical to understand how we can write class decorator. But before that, if you have yet not subscribed to Elfin Code, please do subscribe this channel. Okay, let us begin with the practical. So here let me take one Python file maybe. Let me name it as class decorator to count function call. Okay, so here we will be creating a class, you can say function call count, and here we'll be writing a constructor in it, and in the init we will be taking a function name. So self dot, you can see function equal to unc. Okay, and also we will keep a variable of count equal to 0. Okay, now we have one method called as call. Okay, now this call, so whenever this function is being called, so whatever is there in the call, I mean with this function name, so whenever you call any class with the class name, automatically the first method which gets called is this call method. Okay, so under this what we can do, we can see, and this class has a property that if you make a class decorator, then it will make a different copy for each of the function over which you are decorating this. Okay, so so this count of 0 will be for one particular instance of a functions. Okay, so let me just do this way. So self dot count equal to self dot count plus 1. Okay, and here we can do return self dot functions, and then we'll say arg and kargs. Okay, and then what we can do here, definition print number of execution, maybe. So here we say total total number of call to function name function, let's say f, you will say self dot function dot name is self dot count. Okay, so this is an additional f here. Okay, now this is done. Now what we can say, I mean whenever we are getting this um, getting the call to any function, what we will do, we will call this self dot print. Okay, now what we can say, let's say we have these two function add df add a comma b, print a plus b, and here we have df cbs a comma b, and here we have print a minus b. Oh yeah, a minus b. Okay, now we will decorate these two function with this class decorator. Okay, so here function count. Okay, now let's say we are calling these two function add 1 comma 2, and let's say subtract 10 comma 5. Okay, so let's oops, 2 3 4 5. Okay, so let me remove this. Let's say mm, let's execute this code. Okay, now here you see at the last execution it tells the total number of call to a function add is 5. Okay, so let us count and see if we have called 5 times the add function. 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, so it is giving the correct value, and the last statement says for the subtraction function is 4. So 1 2 3 4, so 4 times we have called the subtraction function, so it is working exactly fine. So let me just go over this code to explain you. So what we did, we have two function a add and subtract. Okay, so now over this add and subtract we call a particular decorators. Okay, so now this decorator will be taking argument as this functions. Okay, so for this decorator, decorator it will be taking argument as add ab, and for this particular decorator it will be taking the argument as subtract a and b. Okay, now what we have done in this decorator class, so we say that when first it will be called. Okay, now the property of this class is like when you are getting a call from this particular function, so it will be creating an instance for this particular function. Okay, similarly for the subtraction function it will be having a different instance. Okay, for add there will be one instance, and for subtract there will be one more instance. Okay, so when the first time it is being called, okay, so it will go to this code and initialize these two variable, which is function, the function variable which will be holding holding the reference of this function. Let's say it is add, and then it will set the counter to 0. Okay, and then it will by default call this particular method. Okay, now this method, what it is doing, it is first incrementing the count. Okay, so it was initialized with 0, then in the first call it will be incremented to 0 plus 1 1. Okay, then it is calling a particular method of this particular class. Okay, now this method is telling that total number of call to this function is function dot underscore underscore name, which is nothing but the function name. Okay, so if it is add, then it will give you the value as add is self dot count. So first time it would be 0 plus 1 1, second time it would be 1 plus 1 2. Okay, like this this particular function will give you the information. Okay, and then we are calling this particular function. Now this function is holding reference of what, from where this decorator is being called. So if it is add, then here it will be add and the key and the argument which is being passed to the add functions. Okay, so this is how the execution and the code is being taken care. Okay, so this is how we get the correct result also. I hope you must have understood this program. So in case if you have any doubt, you can just put it as a comment. Thank you for watching Elfin Code. Please do subscribe to this channel. Thank you.